Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I've got you, babe. I've got you, babe. Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today.
Here, have a lozenge. It's cold out there every day. What is this, Miami Beach?
Not hardly, and you can expect hazardous travel later today. What with that blizzard thing?
That blizzard thing. Oh, well, here's a report. The National Weather Service is calling for a big blizzard thing.
Yes, they are. And you know what it makes today especially exciting?
Especially cold.
Yes, especially cold is the question on everybody's lips.
Their chapped lips.
Yes, their chapped lips. Will Phil come out and see his shadow?
Punxsutawney Phil.
That's right, Woodchuck Chuckers. It's Groundhog Day. Wait.
So, hi, I'm Bobby, and this is, get this, Sick Randy.
Perpetually with a cold, sick Randy.
Hopefully he's not giving me his germs right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm kicking him out when we're done recording. Today is currently June 1st, 2019.
We made it to June.
It's exactly 20 years ago today that Blink-182's seminal album.
Seminal album.
Yeah, Salmonella, Enema of the State was released. Remember that, kids.
Enema of the State.
Enema of the State.
Did you know that if you actually start counting the years from January 1st, 1900 to that day, you would get the exact amount of hours that Blink-182 worked on that CD?
Arbitrary numbers. Yeah. What else do you have to comment on every week, Bobby, when we talk about the date?
Hold on a second. Let me check. Oh, yeah, Trump's still in office.
Yep, Trump is still in office. And this is our
halfway point.
Halfway point. Me and Bobby are dancing in the snow outside.
In the gazebo.
Under the starlight.
We've actually reached the halfway
This is
point.
our 26th watch.
Of
52.
Yeah.
Of Groundhog Day.
Another thing I want to mention real quick is today we're going to start watching the Groundhog Day ripoffs, like
No, the derivatives.
Well, they're similar concepts. Like, what would you say it's called? Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day and its sequel.
We're gonna start watching that, but he's sick, so we're gonna wait until next week. And I have a lot of work to do, but next week I'm free, and next week I can finally devote more time to this movie.
Yeah, he's also here a lot later than I thought he was gonna be, so I was like, I'm kicking you out when we're done.
Oh, I said I had to go like do something today.
I know. I thought you were coming in afterwards. That's why I did my nap around it.
I had to eat.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let us begin. You said you wanted to pick up from last week.
Let's start where we left off and just blaze through the rest of these. These are from my previous watch. I watched the movie again yesterday, but I wrote nothing because I was tired. Because I knew I'd have to get up early again the next day, and
actually, before we picked that up, we didn't do our usual thing. How was your viewing of it? I
was sitting at home and drinking, and I just sat on my couch watching it, and I was kind of tired. I had a test. I had a thing to do yesterday, and I did it, and then I had to get up early today, and again, so I kind of felt like I'm getting no rest.
Would you say that you're
frustrated?
Would you say that that's your Groundhog Day right now?
Getting up early is my Groundhog Day, even on a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yep, that's how I work here. That's how I am. 7 days a week.
You get up every day?
Yeah, I get up early every day. I only sleep 8 hours of sleep.
No, that's fine.
And with my shift to working 8 to 4 recently, my bedtime is around 9. And with being sick,
I'm talking about having to be somewhere on the weekend after you've been out 5 days a week.
Well, fortunately, I didn't have to be anywhere today.
Yeah, I had to be somewhere today, and I had to sit in a room and listen.
I just had to be here for you.
I had to listen to a man read a manual out loud.
Why are you leading into our 5 minutes of non-topic conversation?
Okay.
So, my next question for you, Bobby, is...
So that was pretty Groundhog Day.
How are your feelings about Groundhog Day this week?
I just said I was very frustrated having to watch it because I was so busy.
Oh, okay. So,
next week I'm not going to be busy, so I'll probably be pretty laid back.
So this week you dislike it?
This week I dislike the movie because I felt like I had to... I was actually thinking of a good tip from Guy and Tim, though. Like, maybe we should, break movie up into chunks and watch, a half hour, and then 40 minutes 3 days in a row.
It's an hour and 40 minutes. It
feels like a long hour 40.
And that's partially because you were drunk and you had a lot of stuff to put into it. It's like I said last week or the week before. I don't remember anymore. You get out of Groundhog Day what you put in.
Yeah.
And if you're in a bad mood,
and
if you put a bad attitude in it, the movie's gonna be
yesterday
awful.
Had a real pyre attitude.
And if you put in a good attitude in the movie, it's one of the greatest films ever made.
I had a real pyre attitude.
And And my viewing this week was, as you could probably guess, kind of hazy. At the last 20 minutes, I'm like, I don't feel good. I want to go back to bed. And I watched it on time and a half.
Do you remember? Oh, that's good.
So that was my watch. I'm still enjoying this movie this week. It was like I needed to end it fast.
That was what happened to me on the time when I had watched this, and the actual CD bugged out.
Oh yeah, before we go on, start telling them about your viewing last week with the weirdness surrounding it.
Well, I'll just keep read throughing it because it's on here. Do you remember a scene where somebody says "You're incredible" and then the editing makes it look like it was clearly shot after?
I don't remember that scene at all.
I wish I had said it last week until you cut me off because it's like the editing right after the line "You're incredible" was clearly shot after. I think it might have been when Phil is talking to Rita in the diner, maybe. You're incredible. You'll come back to that one. Write that down. I have to figure out what the hell I was talking about.
It's like as soon as you're done, I'll locate it in the film and I'll tell you what that is.
7:20:30 is the time Phil sees a shadow.
Yeah, we already determined that.
Rita likes the first part of Phil's forecast, but not the second. That's why he was doomed on his first day. Okay. I was pretty drunk when I wrote these. When Phil says, "Boy, I like it here," Rita and Larry ambush him, so he was just talking to himself. I think that's when he's sitting at the bar on the first...
What, you've never sat somewhere and just started talking out loud to yourself in exasperation? Boy, I like it here. What a great place.
Just ambush him.
Keep it coming, guys.
They literally come up behind him at the bar. That's right before Larry, of course, annoys the woman at the stone face.
You mean the one? Oh yeah, the one in the blue sweater.
Mm-hmm. He's got a very big face. Here's a question I have for you: does Hallway Ghost Guy confront Phil every day? He seems
by the rules of Groundhog Day, where certain people are certain places at certain times. Yes.
But what if he leaves his room at a different time?
He's always trying to make it to the almost every day. He's trying to make it to the town square for the same time because he's on a tight schedule. He's gonna run into him around that time.
But we were saying, like, what if he just like waited for like one more minute?
He would run into him. He would run into him in the hallway.
Is that because he's a ghost and you cannot avoid him?
No, it's because he's stuck in the loop and he's going to meet him at some point, depending on how fast.
Oh, so the ghost has his own path every day?
Yeah,
he doesn't just stay in that hallway. I thought we established he stayed in the hallway.
No, well, he's called Man on the Stairway. That's the only time we see him. That's the only time we know he exists.
So, I mean, does he go anywhere else with that one little track?
I'm assuming that he's just kind of like...
Does he go up and down the halls?
I'm assuming he's inhabiting the actual bed and breakfast,
does he do a loop?
Which, as we know, has its own spatial issues where it looks bigger on the inside than on the outside. It's
video game
and it has more rooms than it should. Mm-hmm. So, for all we know, he might be moving the mechanisms around in the place to make the place bigger and smaller. Like,
yeah, you're right. I hadn't thought of that.
Like, how does Phil have a fireplace when there's no chimneys?
You know what? There's so much depth to this movie that we hadn't even thought of yet. What's going on in that bed and breakfast? Is that like some sort of space-time continuum thing going on?
Like I said, I've been thinking about these things, man, because like one of us has to do an RPG, and it's like
that should be a really whack place where it's
I have ideas, but I don't want to spoil it if I'm the DM.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil my ideas.
Right. But you should be doing where you DM for me, then I DM for you.
We should.
We both make our own separate games.
You always laugh. It's like, we'll never have a season 2 of this. It's like, yes, we will. The season 2 is the RPG.
We'll play each other's games.
Yeah, okay. we'll DM each other's games.
Holy crap. That's like 69ing or something.
Hey, I already have to dance with you in the snow underneath the moonlight in a gazebo. No numerology.
When Ned says he has a feeling Phil doesn't have insurance, he looks at Phil's crotch.
Nope, he looks him up and down. But he's mostly taking a look at the clothes.
Oh, you're thinking he's like trying to see how rich he is?
Yeah, he's sizing him up.
Well, I learned something.
And that's why he's trying to get him to go, let me tell you about premium life. You know, he's a parasite, and he's going after this big fish, this big whale.
Yeah.
As you can tell by his humongous forehead.
Here's where we stopped last week. Yeah, does Army National Guard guy have a mustache? You answered that last week. Larry asks Phil if he'll turn the other cheek. Clearly a biblical reference.
Well, as we know, you put in what you get out of this movie what you put in. So if you come in at it from a Buddhist view or a Christian view or a Hebrew view, that rhymed. You're gonna get different understandings because it's like all different faiths seem to read differently into this film. So yes, that and for reasons like that, where he is being drawn paralyzed to Jesus.
Are you saying that like the real message of this movie is that our lives are so fragile, like some sort of musical instrument player on some sort of elevated platform.
I don't get that reference.
Fiddler on the Roof. Come on. Anyway.
I was in Fiddler on the Roof when I was younger.
What would you play?
I played Laser Wolf.
Which one is that?
I was the old guy trying to marry Tevia's daughter,
yeah.
and I got to sing the song.
That's interesting.
Which song? I can't remember what the name of the song was, but it was one of the big mid numbers.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
was a duet.
Turn the other cheek, though. Does that mean that this movie's literally punching us in the face, and we should just turn the other cheek and allow it to continue to do so?
What was the context for him saying that again?
I don't know. I wrote this 2 weeks ago when I was drunk, and I was.
Oh wait, no, okay.
I was barely paying attention last night.
Because where you are in the timeline of reading it out, it's after Rita slaps him. And he goes, "I'll hit you in the other cheek."
Yeah,
if you want me, that's it. It's like, yeah.
So is that the movie to the viewer?
No.
Okay.
Because keep in mind, no movie is made to be watched
this many
times.
I mean, in our
week
reading
by
of
week.
it, in our lore, is the movie like
no. In our lore, it's just Chris Edgerly trying to be funny.
All right. Ned and Gus.
Wait, so does that mean Larry's just a tryhard? He's trying to be funny. Does he know that he's in a movie and he's purposely trying to step out of the bag?
Everything Larry said was tongue in cheek.
Is he supposed to be the Greek Roman chorus? Is he supposed to be the man standing out there?
What did we call the chorus last time? I remember us having a discussion of the chorus. Was it Larry? I thought it was somebody else.
There's Larry, and then there's also Gus and
a chorus does have multiple people, so it's certainly possible.
Or is he the Jar Jar Binks of the film, where he's actually like the Shakespearean fool?
Well, shit, man. Could be. I mean, we do know that he has like no personality beyond.
No, actually, usually the Shakespearean fool has the most character to him, but.
Get this, Ned and Gus both say, "Am I right?"
It's a common phrase.
All right. In such a short movie?
It's a common phrase.
Okay.
You can have people say yes multiple times in the same movie.
Wow. I hadn't thought of that before.
You can have people say the multiple times in the same movie.
But what if they were threaded together in a sentence?
You could have different things. It's like a million monkeys at a million typewriters would write out the entire script of Groundhog Day.
52 times in a row.
Oh, but no, it'd be a different script every time.
Oh, shit.
And then now put that across a multiverse, and with one of them dying and jumped into the other next universe over, and then their script would suddenly change more and more and more and more until they had the perfect Groundhog Day.
So you're saying the monkey wakes up every day and has this punch in that typewriter?
Yep, that monkey dies from typing that typewriter because it's animal cruelty.
And he tries to like do every way to get out of there, but no matter what, he always wakes back up.
No,
chained to his typewriter.
He's chained to this typewriter. He's a stand-in for every creative person, including us in this podcast.
He has figured out a way to pick the lock and everything, but every day, no matter how far away he runs, eventually he's going to wake up back at that typewriter.
And there's going to be a big blizzard thing. It's just be one big white room.
Even if he kills his boss and everything, it wakes right back up.
It's the cracks between the universe, it's like a holy-ish light all around you constantly. It's like that room in the Matrix where it's like guns. I need guns. Instead, it's monkeys. I need a million monkeys on a million typewriters.
Here's where everything went awry. The DVD is now playing at fast speed, and I can't control it.
That's just something wrong with your computer, man.
Well, now I successfully downloaded it onto this computer now, so I don't have to use this.
So maybe that's what it was. Is maybe you said you were ripping it from your.
I was ripping
DVD
it and watching it at the same
time.
For
personal use, people. For personal use, it is allowed.
Mm-hmm. Also, they don't even print the DVD anymore, so.
Amazon was like, "Hey, Randy, we think you should buy Groundhog Day." I'm like, "I already own a copy from you. I bought 2 copies from you at this point. Leave me alone. I don't want another one."
Okay, tell me when we're down to 5 minutes, and I'll give you the explanation of Gus's military thing.
We're down to 6 minutes.
Oh, we are? Okay, let's do one more.
We made it through 3 topics.
Wow. Who else could go for some flapjacks? A code for free will.
Nope.
The cop car is so close to them. Randy, that cop is 100% dead. There's no way he can serve on time. Unless it's an editing decision, it's just not possible for him to survive. We went over that before, but I still insist that editing decision is really bad. Even though I know the cop car shows up later, he could not have got off that track.
I don't think it's as close as you thought, but also because they clearly show us what number car is chasing them, and then show us the cars that show up. We're supposed to figure out that the cop made it.
I know we know that. I'm just saying there's no way he physically could have made that turn.
And it's also I don't think he's close.
What if the freaking car teleported?
No. I don't think anybody else in this universe other than the other loopers have any sort of supernatural element to them, except for maybe the ghost guy, if he's just not a guy stuck on a loop.
All right.
What if he's stuck in a miniature loop and he can only go on that track?
He's a real one-track cop.
No, not him. I'm talking about the stairway guy. What if he's literally stuck in a loop on that day, and every time you walk out of that room, no matter what time of day it is, he's stuck in that loop?
That's what I was just saying earlier.
Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking about it now. What if that's the case where he literally is
he's
stuck
like It's a Small World kind of thing.
Yeah, his Small World. He's singing It's a Small World after
He can't do anything else but ask people about, hey, going to see the groundhog?
He literally can't because it's Groundhog Day. He can't.
On day 3, did Larry and Rita leave Punxsutawney without Phil?
Day 3, that's when he tells him that he's going to stay. So I think that the two of them try to leave, or no, Rita wanted to stay and cover the nightlife.
Oh, so she did stay.
So they probably stayed because it's like that was their idea. So it's like, remember, because I've seen this beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie is when I don't check out from not feeling well, so it's like I pick up a lot more.
Maybe you should watch it in reverse then.
I wish I could watch it in reverse.
No, I mean just watch it like from the halfway point and then go back and watch it from the beginning. Like do the scene start thing, scene choice.
It's like I can visualize the whole like 3 openings to that
watch
film.
this movie like out of order, like just by choosing scenes?
You mean anachronically, as in the original air order of Haruhi Suzumiya?
Like we'll just put a random number generator and we'll watch the scenes out of order one time.
Oh God.
We just have to watch them all once. Doesn't matter what order they're in, as long as it's not chronological.
And the movie would still make sense because it doesn't matter which day it would be.
Exactly. All right, is it time for military time?
Go ahead, yeah, because we're at 16 and a half minutes.
Okay.
So remember to credit this guy on Reddit.
Yeah. So last time, me and Randy were discussing how, or a couple of times ago, we were discussing how your military retirement would work for Gus's 20 years of service in the Navy. So somebody on Reddit,
say who it is,
Military FAQ by Acceptable2 asked this 12 days ago as of this recording, June 1st, 2019. What can you actually retire after 20 years of service? And he got an answer by the Big Jack with 2 Ks. No, sorry, the Big with 2 Gs, Jack with 2 Ks. He said, yeah, you absolutely can. This past Friday, I was the narrator for the retirement ceremony of an E6 retiring at 20 years. Life after the service depends on you, your rank, your lifestyle, your family, whether you want to work or not, and a variety of other factors. Under the old system, known as the High 3 system, which would be 1993, when Gus was in the military, you do your 20, and after retirement, you'd receive half of your average of the highest 3 years of base pay you received for the rest of your life. Note that I only say base pay. That means that you will no longer receive any allowances for food or housing. You will still have TRICARE for life and access to the base amenities such as the commissary, I guess maybe he means PX here?
Yeah.
Store, movie theater, bowling alley, etc. Oh, he could go to the bowling alley on the, he could have been going to the Navy's bowling alley, dang it. Under the new system known as the Blended Retirement System, or BRS, the government gives you a 1% of your base pay automatically in a thrift savings plan account, which is essentially an IRA. They will match your contributions up to 5% as well. You can keep that money if you get out before you hit 20 years of service if you move to an IRA. At 20 years, you get 40% of your highest 3 years of pay. This doesn't mean that if you do more than 20, you'll still receive that much. The calculation for the High 3 system was time in service times 0.025 times average of highest 3. Under the new system, it's the same thing, but you replace the 0.025 with a 0.02. While you're in, you will also have tuition assistance, which allow you to work on furthering your education without touching your GI Bill or using your pay on it. It can also be used to pay for industry certifications such as CCNA or CSSP. If you're not in yet, your recruiter or officer selection officer can explain the benefits to you. TLDR, you can absolutely retire at 20 years, but your life after service will depend on what you do while you're in and what rank you're at when you get out.
And once again, thank you, the Big Jack.
Wait,
has 2 Gs and 2 Ks.
Yeah. So what is your discussion of this?
And thank you, Acceptable2, for asking that. Mine was basically like, what prompted him to ask this question? And was it our podcast, or was it a viewing of Groundhog Day?
Randy is again on the idea that people are listening to this podcast and getting ideas.
No, just randomly listening to random episodes and seeing, hey, they keep mentioning this 20 years at half pay.
Oh wait, it should be like military.
I'm just curious. Well, you already know what I was roughly what I'm gonna say. It's that I'm slowly building my own canon around this film, in which the actor who plays Ralph, right? Ralph is the one that says this.
Gus.
Gus, I can't.
Gus
I don't.
is the fat one who died of diabetes.
Okay, my brain is that name. Yeah, the comedian. Yeah, I can't remember which is which right now. So my thing is for him is that he originally appeared in The Hunt for Red October prior to this film, and that after the events of The Hunt for Red October, he retired and... Or not retired. He left service, or he was given a discharge.
Insisting it's the same character.
Yeah, but wait, I have more to it. And went back to Puxatawny. After meeting Phil and Phil turning his life around, he would leave Puxatawny and travel to New York, where he would eventually become a security guard working at the corporation in Gremlins 2: The New Batch.
Now, did he ever mention how many years he served?
No, it's like we just get the non sequitur of. It's like I could have retired after 20 years.
No, but he says he regrets leaving the Navy.
Yeah, he regrets leaving the Navy.
So let's say, for example, he served like 4 years, or let's say over, because it's different for here. But I'll just say, let's say if he served 4 years, for argument's sake, I'll say this is over 3. And let's say he made it to an E3 maybe or 4.
Yep.
After 4 years, I'll give him like an E4, for argument's sake, as an enlisted. That means. And see, these are modern numbers, so we don't really know what they would have been. I'll have to do more research and see what they would have been back in the 90s. But today, that would be $2,490. Would be
monthly basic pay.
Your monthly basic pay. So that means he would have been earning half that per month.
Honestly, I'm assuming that if by my canon that he that he was in The Hunt for Red October in this, and depending on how long he had served prior to that and his age, let's say he joined during his 20s and in his 30s in this movie, but he retired early, or he stepped out earlier.
He's probably about, let's say Phil's age, so about 40.
You would think he's supposed to be that old in the movie?
Isn't he? He looks kind of...
No, he just looks like beaten up from and run down, so it's like it still hits me more as in the 30s. Okay. Because you remember, Phil's supposed to be playing late 30s in this movie.
Yeah. So he's about 30s, what? 5?
Yeah, so let's say he enlisted when he was 18. Maybe he only got maybe 10 years, maybe like almost...
Because as we know, he was a fit young man before he
And like I said, and then in The Hunt for Red October, he's like is in the Navy on a carrier.
Yeah.
I can't remember his rank in there. I'd have to double check that again next week. So if in my canon that's true, maybe like after he's like... They gave him a chance to step out early.
So what was his years in rank?
I don't know. Let me bring up his thing because we're over the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, we're over 20 minutes. So as of right now, that was my thing. So if he had done, 2,000. I'll use this number for now. It'll be a stand-in. But if he had managed to rank at an E4 and did 4 years of service, and he retired, sorry, we're looking at 20 years of service. Sorry, I'm looking at over 18 years of service. So I don't know why I did that. So let's say he did 20 years of service and he got. What, E7?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'll
he was only a navigator C2A.
Because I don't know what the hell I was talking about earlier. Okay, here's the number. And let's say he reached a rank of E7. I'll be conservative and say he didn't reach E8 or E9. Because there's only so many of those, I think. If you reach an E7 at over 18 years, he would have received $4,625, and that's in today's number, so we haven't done a historical calculation, but that would be $4,625, and I'll multiply it, and 5 cents, but I was gonna say, and I'll multiply it by half, so he would be pulling in $2,312.50 per month if he retired at half pay after 20 years, if he reached E7.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good chunk of change.
That's why it's like over 20 years, yeah.
Over 20 years, $2,000 bucks.
That's why I was saying that after the events of The Hunt for Red October, he got out. I don't remember the context. I have to see that movie again to see if it plays out.
If he had stayed in the Navy, that's what he would be looking at. So that's what Gus's dream would have been. A cool $2,300 a month, man.
Yeah.
After retirement. Now again, it depends on what his rating was and everything, and if he would have enjoyed his job. Obviously, he didn't really enjoy his job that much because, he left, but hey, what are you going to do?
What you going to do? So with that, everybody, I'm Randy.
So this has been a great discussion of military base pay for you. Yeah. And you know what? I don't think we said the name of our podcast this episode.
Probably not, because I usually sneak it into the song at the beginning as well.
This has been in case you're wondering what you've been watching now, this has been Groundcast Day, a Groundhog Day podcast.
And this is episode 26.
Episode 26.
The halfway point. Yeah.
We somehow didn't get our title in. All right.
Goodbye, everybody.